If we remove protagonists and talk real power, who is the most powerful person in GTA universe? And I'm not talking combat power, but politics and stuff. You know what I'm saying. Let's start with his grip on Liberty City. Salvatore is not just the head of the Leone crime family. He's practically the unofficial king of the city. His influence stretches from the streets to the highest levels of government and law enforcement. When Salvatore speaks, people listen. And if they don't, well, let's just say they might find themselves sleeping with the fishes. What really sets Salvatore apart is his ability to survive in a world where loyalty is rare and betrayal is common. The guy's been targeted by rival families, his own men, and even government agencies, but he always comes out on top. It's like he's got a sixth sense for danger and always manages to stay one step ahead of his enemies. But it's not just about survival. Salvatore knows how to expand his power too. He's got his fingers in all sorts of pies. Protection rackets, gambling, unions, you name it. And he's not afraid to branch out into new territories, always looking for ways to grow his empire and influence. Now let's talk about his problem-solving skills. When Salvatore faces an issue, he doesn't mess around. He's got a simple philosophy. Why negotiate when you can eliminate? This guy can whack anyone who stands in his way, from small-time crooks to high-ranking officials. It's not exactly ethical, but you can't deny it's effective. Alright, let's shift our focus to another heavyweight in the GTA universe, Devin Weston. This guy's a different breed of power player, and he's definitely got the chops to be considered one of the most influential figures in the series. But does he have what it takes to outshine Salvatore Leone? Devin Weston is the embodiment of corporate power in the GTA world. Unlike Salvatore's old-school mafia approach, Devin represents the modern face of corruption and influence. He's a billionaire investor, a venture capitalist, and has his fingers in everything from real estate to the movie industry. In many ways, Devin's reach extends far beyond the streets of Los Santos. He's got connections in high places. We're talking government officials, movie producers, and even mercenary groups. This guy can make things happen with a single phone call, whether it's manipulating the stock market or sending a team of highly trained soldiers after someone who's crossed him. Devin's also got a certain untouchable quality about him. While Salvatore operates in a world where violence is often the answer, Devin works within the system, using legal loopholes and financial manipulation to get what he wants. This approach gives him a layer of protection that street-level gangsters can't match. However, here's where Devin starts to fall short compared to Salvatore. While Devin's power is vast, it's also somewhat fragile. His influence is built on money and connections, both of which can be lost. Salvatore, on the other hand, has a more grassroots form of power. He's got loyalty from his foot soldiers and a deep understanding of street-level operations that Devin lacks. Another point in Salvatore's favor is longevity. Devin is a relatively new player in the GTA universe, while Salvatore has been a force to be reckoned with across multiple games and decades. This staying power demonstrates a level of cunning and adaptability that Devin hasn't yet proven he possesses. Devin's downfall in GTA 5 also highlights a crucial weakness. Despite all his resources, he underestimated the capabilities of Franklin, Michael, and Trevor. He failed to recognize the strength that comes from street smarts and criminal experience, something Salvatore would never do. Lastly, while Devin can certainly arrange for people to be taken care of, he doesn't have the same hands-on approach as Salvatore. There's a certain respect and fear that comes from a leader who's willing to get their hands dirty, and that's an area where Salvatore clearly has the edge. Devin Weston is undoubtedly a powerful figure in the GTA universe. His corporate influence and vast resources make him a formidable opponent. However, he falls short of Salvatore Leone in terms of longevity, street-level influence, and personal involvement in his operations. Devin represents a different kind of power, one that's impressive, but perhaps not as enduring or deeply rooted as Salvatore's old-school mafia approach. Now let's talk about Steve Haynes, another big player in the GTA universe. I gotta say, this dude brings a whole new dimension to the power game. Steve Haynes is a special agent for the FIB, the GTA version of the FBI. And at first glance, you might think he's got it all. I mean, he's got the badge, the government backing, and he's even got his own TV show. Talk about a power move, right? What makes Steve a serious contender is his position within the system. Unlike Salvatore or Devin, he's got legitimate authority. He can make arrests, access classified information, and manipulate law enforcement resources. I'd say that's a pretty sweet deal if you're looking to be a power player. But here's where it gets interesting. Steve's not your straight-laced federal agent. Nah, this guy's corrupt to the core. He's not afraid to break the law, blackmail people, or even commit murder to get what he wants. I gotta admit, it's a potent combination. The authority of a Fed with the moral compass of a career criminal. However, and this is a big however, Steve's power isn't as absolute as he'd like to think. I'd argue that his position is actually pretty precarious. See, he's constantly walking a tightrope between his official duties and his illegal activities. One wrong move, one piece of evidence in the wrong hands, and his whole world could come crashing down. Another thing to consider is that Steve doesn't have the same kind of loyalty that someone like Salvatore commands. He's got subordinates, sure, but they follow him out of duty or fear, not respect. I think that's a crucial difference when we're talking about real power. Steve's also got a major Achilles heel: his ego. Man, this guy loves the limelight. His TV show, his need to be in control, it all stems from his massive ego. And let me tell you, in the world of GTA, an unchecked ego can be a dangerous thing. It makes him sloppy, prone to underestimating others, and that's a recipe for disaster. Now don't get me wrong, Steve Haynes is a force to be reckoned with. The dude's got reach, resources, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. But when you stack him up against someone like Salvatore Leone, I think he falls short. Salvatore's got street smarts that Steve can't match. He's got a network of loyal soldiers who die for him. And most importantly, Salvatore knows how to operate in the shadows. Steve, with his TV show and high profile, is always in the spotlight, and in the GTA world, that's not always the safest place to be. So, while Steve Haynes is definitely a major player and a serious candidate for one of the most powerful figures in GTA, I'd say he's not quite at the top. His power, while significant, isn't as stable or as deeply rooted as some of our other contenders. Jimmy Pegorino's case for being one of the most powerful figures in the GTA universe. This guy's an interesting player in the power game, and I gotta say, he's got some strong points in his favor. Jimmy Pegorino is the boss of the Pegorino crime family in Liberty City, and he's got a pretty compelling story. He's a guy who's been fighting tooth and nail to elevate his family to the same level as the 5 families. I'd say that kind of ambition and determination already puts him in the running for a power player. One of Jimmy's biggest strengths is his resilience. This dude's been operating in a city dominated by more established crime families. Yet he's managed to carve out his own territory and keep his organization alive. That's no small feat in the cutthroat world of GTA. Jimmy's also got a knack for strategic alliances. He's not afraid to work with other criminals or even government agencies if it means advancing his goals. This flexibility gives him an edge that more rigid, old-school bosses might lack. But here's where it gets really interesting: Jimmy's hunger for power. Unlike some of the more established bosses who might be content with maintaining their territory, Jimmy's always looking to expand. He's got big dreams of making it to the commission, and that drive makes him a force to be reckoned with. However, Jimmy's case for being the most powerful isn't without its weak points. For one, his organization isn't as large or as well established as some of the other crime families. He's still seen as a bit of an outsider by the big players in Liberty City. Another issue is Jimmy's temper. The guy can be pretty hot-headed, and in the world of organized crime, that can be a serious liability. It's led him to make some questionable decisions that have put his organization at risk. When you compare Jimmy to someone like Salvatore Leone, you can see where he falls short. Salvatore's got a more established power base, more political connections, and a longer track record of success. Jimmy's still trying to reach that level. That being said, Jimmy's ambition and willingness to take risks do make him a wild card. In the volatile world of GTA, sometimes it's the hungry up-and-comer who can shake things up and rise to the top. So, while I wouldn't put Jimmy Pegorino at the very top of the list for most powerful figures in GTA, I'd say he's definitely a contender to watch. He's got the ambition, the strategic mind, and the ruthlessness to potentially climb the ranks. But as of now, he's still in the shadow of more established power players like Salvatore Leone. Now I think it's time to bring forth the winner. And yes, you are correct if you saw it coming. Sonny Forelli. This guy's not just a contender, he's practically the final boss of the GTA power game. When we're discussing the most powerful figures in the GTA universe, Sonny Forelli is the name that should be at the top of everyone's list. First off, let's talk about Sonny's reach. This isn't just some local gangster we're dealing with. Sonny's influence stretches from Liberty City all the way down to Vice City. He's got his fingers in pies across multiple major cities, which already puts him leagues ahead of most other crime bosses in the series. This guy isn't just about brute force or intimidation. He's got a mind for strategy that's unmatched in the GTA world. He understands that true power comes from controlling the flow of money, not just the streets. Sonny's operations span everything from drug trafficking to legitimate businesses, creating a network of power that's incredibly hard to dismantle. Now, let's compare him to Salvatore Leone. While Salvatore's got a strong grip on Liberty City, Sonny's playing chess while Salvatore's playing checkers. Sonny's thinking 10 steps ahead, setting up complex schemes that often don't reveal their true purpose until it's too late for his enemies to counter. Sonny's also got a knack for manipulation that puts him above the rest. He knows how to use people, how to play on their weaknesses and desires. Just look at how he handled Tommy Vercetti. He sent Tommy to Vice City, knowing full well that the deal was going to go south. It was all part of a larger plan to expand his influence while keeping Tommy under his thumb. Speaking of Tommy, the fact that Sonny was able to control someone as volatile and ambitious as Tommy Vercetti for so long is a testament to his power. Tommy's no pushover, but Sonny had him dancing to his tune for years. Another thing that puts Sonny at the top is his ability to maintain power over time. The guy's been at the top of the food chain for decades. In a world as volatile as GTA, where today's kingpin is tomorrow's dead meat, that kind of longevity is incredible. Sonny's also got a level of cunning that's unmatched. He's always got contingency plans. Even when things don't go his way, he finds a way to spin it to his advantage. He's like a mob boss version of a chess grandmaster, always thinking several moves ahead. Let's not forget about his connections either. Sonny's got links to corrupt politicians, dirty cops, and other crime families. He knows the value of having friends in high places, and he's cultivated a network that makes him nearly untouchable. Now, you might be thinking, but what about his downfall in Vice City? And yeah, that's a fair point. But consider this. It took someone of Tommy Vercetti's caliber, plus a perfect storm of circumstances, to bring Sonny down. And even then, Sonny nearly pulled it off. That's how formidable this guy is. In the end, what makes Sonny Forelli the undisputed king of power in the GTA universe is his combination of intelligence, ruthlessness, business savvy, and sheer ambition. He's not just content with being a big fish in a small pond. He wants to own the whole damn ocean. While guys like Salvatore Leone, Devin Weston, and Steve Haynes are all powerful in their own rights, they're all playing in Sonny's league. Sonny Forelli isn't just participating in the game of power. He's rewriting the rules. So yeah, when we're talking about the most powerful person in the GTA universe, Sonny Forelli is the guy. He's the benchmark against which all other GTA power players are measured. And we are done. Do you think anyone else can challenge Sonny's status? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and see ya.